Today, we're going to be talking about player onboarding. It's the first time players come into your world. This is the new user experience API workshop. I'm going to be your host, Mikey Ace. I'm a 3D artist, world generalist, and I'll be joined today by SpaceGlitterUnicorn, the 3D generalist expert. So we have a lot of fun stuff to show you today, and very excited because this topic is really near and dear to my heart because this is the first thing players see when they come into your world. So the first impressions really mean a lot. So very excited to share this one with you all. Here's today's agenda. First, we're going to be talking about creating that first welcoming first impression. Very, very important. Then Glitter's going to be talking more about the design element of onboarding through environment. Next, I'll be talking more about how you can use your UI visual effects as smart guides to guide your player through your level. Um, Also, Horizon can be played on a phone. It can be played on a virtual headset. So different platforms may need a different type of onboarding experience, which we will talk about then. More importantly, we want to reward our players by learning these things. So we definitely have a lot of stuff that we'll be bringing up to show you how to reward players to go through these tutorials. And my favorite part, Glitter's going to be doing a live demo of this beautiful world that she made that kind of goes over everything we're going to be discussing and showing it in real time. So very excited for that. Cool. So, yep, Glitter, take it away.
Thank you. So, the first few moments in a world define everything. New users decide within seconds if they'll stay or leave, and that decision comes down to clarity. A strong onboarding experience supported by custom UIs and thoughtful scene setups doesn't just teach controls, it guides emotion and purpose. When players instinctively know where to go, what to do, why it matters, immersion happens naturally. Great onboarding isn't a tutorial, it's the first chapter of the story we want them to live.
So, just imagine yourself, you're playing a game for the first time. You've never been there before, if you've never seen it. What is going through your mind? Like, how do you play this game, right? It's the question on everyone's mind. And the one thing I usually like to teach is like you can have the most prettiest game, you can have a game that's, plays very smoothly. You have like 1,000 things to do in the world. But if the player does not know how to play the game in the first 10 seconds, they may leave. Let's be honest, there's so much competition out there. So you spend all hundreds of hours, hundreds of thousands of hours working on this game, and someone's just going to leave because they don't know how to play. That's why this is extremely important to me, this topic, because we want your worlds to be seen. You do an amazing job on this, and we know how to play the game. Keep in mind, we're the creators. We've played our game 1,000 times. Maybe we take for granted that maybe someone would figure it out, but we played it 1,000 times, so we might not realize someone coming in for the first time doesn't know what to do. So that's why this topic is very, very important. So again, like Litter said, the first moments decide if the player is going to stay or leave. Clarity, guidance, guiding the character through the world is very important. If you want to make sure that they're going to the left, then we'll tell you in the next couple of slides, light that part up, make it very obvious you want them to go to the left. So it's very important how you guide the player. If they can figure out your game in 10, 20 seconds and feel confident, they're going to stay for the whole ride. And that's the whole point of all of this. Cool. Glitter is going to tell us more about how you can do that through design.
Thank you. So, lighting and environmental guidance. Use lighting, use lighting contrast and color cues to subtly lead players to key areas. Bright, warm lights, safe or objective zones, cool dark tones, exploration, highlight interactive objects with spotlights or glow VFX. So, all right. So lighting is one of those sneaky design tools that totally controls where players look without them even realizing it. You can use lighting as contrast and color cues to subtly guide them towards important areas. Bright, warm lights, that's your safe zones, objectives, or main path. Cool or darker tones, those pull players into exploration or mystery areas. And if you really want something to pop, Throw a little spotlight or glow VFX on your interactive objects. Players' eyes will lock right onto it. It's like you're painting with light to lead the story visually. So game design as guidance. Structure levels to naturally teach mechanics, safe test zone before danger. Use visual landmarks and clear silhouettes to orient the player. Reward curiosity. Let the environment itself teach through discovery.
So, as you've seen, just by using design really can help the player where to go. When you come into this world, obviously your eye is going to find if it's something's really dark in one area and then there's a bright light, your eye is going to go to that bright light. You want to lead your player to where they have to go next. So design is extremely important with that. Other stuff besides design that you can also use is, hey, we got NPC access. Let's have an NPC greeter. Another way we can do it is when the player first enters the world, we can have an NPC kind of greet you. You can have them, as you can see on this slide, just welcome them to your world, telling them what to do, where to go, anything that can give the player some feedback. It's also very important that you have it in writing, and you can also have it in audio, because a lot of people, which we'll get into in a few, some people on mobile don't play with audio always on. They might be in a noisy environment, so you always got to keep that in mind. You want to have visual cues as much as possible because not as much audio will be heard on all platforms. So, another way that we can help guide the player is through what they call info slides. And I'm sure you've seen it before. You go into a world, you hit a trigger, and now you have this nice little pop up that tells the player, a greeting, a welcome message. And this example we're using now is a tutorial. It can walk them through the game. Remember, you want to have your player be comfortable. You want to guide them where you want them to go. At least for the first maybe 10 to 20 seconds of the game, get them comfortable with the mechanics so that they feel confident that they can go on and play the rest themselves. So using these tutorials with the buttons that you can go next is very a clever way to teach them quickly because it's right up in their face. They have to interact with it. They can skip it. As you can see, there's a way to skip it, but it leads them to interact with it. Another thing I can suggest is maybe don't have so much text. I know this might be a bad example on the screen right here, but keep in mind, you can also put images. Images are worth 1,000 words. Again, it also helps for localization too if someone doesn't speak the language. I would use images on these slides so that a player would be like, okay, that's what I need to do. And they go to the next slide and there's another image. This could really help your player know exactly what they have to do so then they feel confident continuing to play your game. Cool. So another thing you can do besides an actual pop-up that blocks them from moving is you can have little pop-ups that pop up at the bottom, at the top, and this could also help players with little hints. Be like, hey, I see you're walking in this direction, and a little pop-up says, no, it's actually the other way. Or maybe it could be a helpful hint, but like, yes, you're on the right path. So anything that you can give your player, any tips or information to show them that they're doing something right or wrong can really help them. And again, the first 10, 20 seconds of your games, this is very important, depending on what type of game you make. So Meta gives us, Horizon Worlds gives us options that we can do pop-ups like this. We can also do pop-ups on actual UI buttons. As you can see on this other slide, it says, tap to do something cool. Or maybe this is the jump button, or this is the fire button. Telling people what the buttons do with a little pop-up goes a long way because they can say, oh, I've never seen that button before. I didn't know what it did, so I didn't press it. Giving them some visual feedback like that can really help. I definitely recommend keeping it short because again, it doesn't stay on the screen for that long. A lot of these little tips will come on 5 seconds, 2 to 5 seconds. You want to keep it very short and sweet and to help the players along the game. Okay. So another way we can do this is through dialogue and task assignments. We've already went over NPCs. NPCs can speak to you, but there's a lot of other cool ways we can interact with an NPC through text, as you can see. So there's this cool feature with a dialogue interaction where the NPC asks you questions and you can react to it. You can continue. It's almost like a choose your own adventure type story. So you can say cool, he'll say something else. And also keep in mind, always have a skip button. Remember, if someone is playing your game for the first time, they want to see this. But let's say they come in the second time, you may want to have an option to skip the tutorial. You don't want to put them through the same tutorial each time they come into your world. You might even be able to code it that if player has done the tutorial, never show them it again. That can also be another option. But this is really cool to have these types of options, especially with a skip, so that the player can be like, I understand how to play this. I'm ready to go to the next level. And here are some more pop ups that you can do. Pop ups to next levels, they show you clear visuals. You can even use sound effects when you get to a certain part of your game. And again, remembering to choose to skip and remind me later so that players don't feel like they have to read it each time they come into your world. So that brings us to visuals. Visuals are very, very important. Like I mentioned before, not everyone likes to read a lot of text. I can imagine some people going to come into your world and just hit skip and not read it at all. We're all guilty of doing that one time or another. So we got to keep that in mind. They may not read exactly how to play your game, even if it's right in front of their face. So visuals are extremely important. There is a template, and you'll notice a lot of these pictures are from this template. We'll share it right at the end, but this is a template that you can download. And they have this really cool feature where literally it will put a ring around you, as you can see here, and it will tell you exactly where the next waypoint is to go. And when you would go through it, it will tell you, yes, you made it to this part. Now go to the next one. So it's a really, really cool compass type feature to direct your plays exactly where you want them to go. So really excited for this feature. We're going to be demoing it. Glitter will be demoing it later in our project that's coming up soon. So remember, visuals are very important. So this is definitely something to look in for sure. So now they did the tutorial, right? They finished it and they're like, all right, I know how to play this. I think it's important to give them a reward. Be like, all right, well, you finished the tutorial. Here's 100 XP for completing the tutorial. Reward them, use visual effects, badges, icons. Another good thing to do is put quests in your world. When you have a quest, people can see all it's like a to-do list, and people like to have all of them and try to complete all of them. This could be their first quest that they complete. I finished the tutorial. I know how to play the game. I'm confident. I know how to play the game. And now the hand holding is over. They're free. They can play the game. And now we know we did our job as a developer. Now they can have fun with the game. And we gave them a little bit of reward at the end. So pretty cool stuff. So without further ado, we're going to be putting a lot of this stuff into action. Glitter will be talking just a moment, but I do want to tell you there is this template out there. It's called the New User Experience Tutorial. You can find it in the desktop editor, and it is awesome. I highly recommend you check it out. And Glitter, take it away. I'm going to be sharing so she could share her screen.
Oh, yeah. All right,
Get
hold on.
ready.
This is the new player experience I've been working on with MikeyAce. So first thing that happens is boom, you get greeted by this super friendly NPC. Right away, it sets the tone that makes you feel like, oh, cool, I belong here. So let's go check it out.
Hello, welcome to the new user onboarding experience. Please have a look around and interact with the world to learn more about Horizon Worlds.
So here you actually have total control of the dialogue that your NPCs say, right? You can have random stuff or you can have stuff that you create yourself. Then I walk through this visible threshold. This part's actually really important for gameplay. You don't just want text pop-ups telling people where to go. You want the world itself to guide them. So you see this path, that's kind of like an archway. That's intentional. So basically, we would want to visually go through that archway because we know that's going to be the direction to the next level rather. So I'm going to go ahead and gonna let you guys see. I kind of framed it really nicely too, so that you can see what's beyond this threshold as well, which is this giant kitty. So I'm gonna step here. And now you see this tutorial pop up, and basically you have total control of what this says. So you could tell a story. You could tell them, okay, here's the clue to the next thing, the next waypoint, so on and so forth. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and we can basically, yeah, we can fill this with as much information as you want. You are the artist, you are the game developer. You season to taste, right? And I'm pretty sure everyone's experience is going to be unique to their own, because that, I mean, that's the beauty of it, right? Like you are that, the maker, you know? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's go. So let's walk down. Now we're looking for visual cues. So where do your eyes go next? So right now, it's this green exclamation point. It's such a simple thing, but it's a total magnet for players. You instantly know that's where I'm supposed to be. But here's the secret. You're not figuring it out by accident. The designer quietly is leading you the whole way. So you are the designer. So let's go ahead. Alrighty. So once you hit that point, the UI pops up, buttons, dialogue choices, all that good stuff. It gives the players freedom while still keeping the flow. So even though right here you're giving your players options, you're still in control of what they're doing. You know, you're still holding their hand and leading the way for this gameplay. So I mean, really, there's so much for me. I'm a sucker for storytelling, and this is like the most perfect thing you can utilize for that. So I mean, I could say cool, I'm here for more info, different answers, or we can just skip. If we've already played this game, we could skip it. All right, so check this out. You get a little compass guiding you to your next waypoint. This is where the hand holding happens, like truly fully, but in a good way. It's visual, it's clear, and it keeps the player moving. So I'm going to go to the next waypoint where it's obvious where I need to go. There's another, like there's a green arrow, right? And here we are. All right, and so finally the best part, you follow the compass and boom. Now we're going to go towards the giant kitty with the treasure chest. After that, there's a hint with a hidden diamond, and once you find it, it teleports you. So let's go. Here we are. Grab the diamond to finish the task. So, but where is the diamond? It's not visually obvious where it is. However, the compass is telling us where to go, and it's leading us to a secret place, which is right over here. We wouldn't have seen that if the compass wasn't there. So it's perfect. It's a perfect way to show your players that there's a bonus area, but I'm gonna help you find it. So let's go on ahead. Yay! And honestly, right there, perfect spot to hide some bonus points, collectibles. You got to reward those curious players who like to poke around. So yeah, this is how a smooth onboarding experience feels. It feels guided, it feels fun, and it feels magical. And yeah, and we have some aces and unicorns. And we're going through the cave because obvious there's a visual path. We don't have any more UIs, but it's for sure you know where you're going because you see something glowing. It's framed perfectly. So your players are going to be like, "Oh, it seems like I need to go that way. So let's go that way." And here we are. And I won the game. And that's it. So, Mikey, where do people go to create these new user experiences? Like how do they start? Is there a certain website or a section they need to start this from?
Yeah, well, on the MetaLearn site, there is a lot of great material to get you started with everything that we just showed here. We will be linking it in the description or actually in the chat momentarily. But more importantly, like I mentioned before, there's actually a template tutorial. So if you go to your Horizon desktop interface and go down to where it says tutorials, there's one that's called, let's see, it's called New User Experience Tutorial. And everything that you saw today that we used in Glitter's world was from that actual tutorial that you can, again, download today, learn about it. All the scripts are very well commented. It will tell you exactly how it works. I will also be linking different documents that will actually walk you through. If you prefer reading, the documents will actually walk you through how to create each of these individually. So there's a lot of great stuff on the MetaLearn site to actually create these, and I highly recommend implementing them into your game slowly, getting a few in just to give the players, some tips how to play your game.
Awesome. This is really exciting. I have yet to use it for my own worlds, but I can't wait to try it out really because this seems pretty easy to do and it's very informative for your new players.
So I did want to show you. This is actually the template that I've been talking about. So this is something that you can play with right now today. So this is called the new user experience tutorial. So let me just show you a little bit around the editing, and you can see we got all of our scripts, we got all of our stations. Everything is neatly labeled, really organized. And just to show you kind of what it does, it gives you some tutorials here. You step on this one, it gives you this little tutorial. And then this one here I like because it gives you that little pop-up hint text. Really cool. And here we have this NPC, which we can talk to. Right? And that's where we get this little compass on ourselves and tells us where to go. And again, this is stuff that you can add to your world today. And we're going to grab this diamond. We get this nice task complete. And we go right through. So yeah, I definitely highly recommend you check out this template. There's a lot of great scripts, very well commented. It'll tell you how to do it. And yeah, really, really excited to show you that stuff. Thank you again. Until next time.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.